High Calling Podcast, episode number 17. Today I got Mr. Andy Currier. He's an Amite, Louisiana resident, Tangipahoa Parish Public Works for 20 years, Director of Public Works for the parish, Deacon at the Cowboy Church, and Youth Rodeo Board member, and also organizer of the Florida Parishes Rodeo Club. What's up, Andy? How's it going, brother?
Oh, man, just hanging in there. How about you?
Oh, man, about the same. It's better to stand in there, but sometimes we got to hang in there, brother.
That's right.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming on here, man. I met you the other day in Dawson's office over there, and, I kind of asked you about this, if you'd be willing to come on here. It's like, oh, only if Dawson does it. And I was like, and I said, you're coming up next then.
It's funny. A couple of people, how'd you get into this? How'd you get into this? Everybody picks on me because I like sweets. And I said, well, believe it or not, sweets got me into this. I went in Dawson's office, sweets, and now here I am.
Yeah, I bribe everybody with a cheesecake. Hey, come in here. I'm doing podcasts.
It worked. So.
Absolutely. I appreciate it. And the funny thing is whenever I told you about it, and we're just sitting there talking, and the first time you met me, you said you usually don't talk to people the first time you meet them, and I'm sitting there listening to your stories, and I'm laughing, I'm having a good time. I say, you got a great story, and you're like, no, I don't. I was like, yeah, you do.
It's just I don't know, it's everyday life for me.
Well, and that's the thing is, like, nobody really thinks that their life is special or like their testimony is special, the way that God moved in their life. They just kind of like, yeah, but I'm blemished. Nobody thinks my story is amazing,
Right.
but somebody needs to hear everybody's story.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. And our buddy Jeff, Jeff McNeely, he says, you know what testimony means? God, do it again.
Yeah. He's a good one for your next podcast too. He's got a good story.
I got to convince him to get on there. Put a little bird in his ear.
He'll
what I mean?
do it. I'll talk to him.
Sounds good, man. I look forward to it. So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background and how you got into this, where you're at.
Well, I mean, I was raised here in Amite, went to school here, raised on a dairy farm here. And actually, that's kind of, when we sold the dairy, my dad sold the dairy when I was a senior in high school. And it was like, hey, it's time to get a job. It's your senior year and it's the second semester and it's time to start thinking about things. And actually, Jeff and my family went to church with Jeff's family. And he said, I can get him a job at the landfill, part-time job doing whatever. And that was in 1997. So I've pretty much been here ever since. I left the parish when I was in college for like a year and a half.
Sure.
But came back and I've been here ever since. And so that's kind of how I got here. Just really through my relationship with Jeff. He got me in the door here, and then I just I've always told everybody I still hadn't figured out what I want to do when I grow up. But
that's good, man.
Yeah,
man. So, I heard one time somebody said that you want to be with somebody that you can grow old with, but I heard somebody else say you want to be with somebody that makes you feel young forever. And so if you're in a job that makes you feel young forever, that's a good spot to be.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but as a matter of fact, it makes me feel old, but that's all right.
That's all right, man. You seem like you got a good attitude. You smiling and laughing, man. That's what it's all about. So if you could find some laughter and some joy and some good people out there in your job, I mean, that's a good spot to be.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we had a good conversation over there in Dawson's office, just kicking the can around.
Yep.
So I appreciate you coming on here. And
no problem.
Yeah, my name's Chad. It's the High Calling Podcast, and we're the Lord told me to talk to people like Andy and put his story out there, how he's on the move in their life so other people can hear it and maybe get on fire, get on the move, and get excited about it. So,
yep, that's a good deal you got going on.
I hope so, man. Like I told you, I don't know how it's going to develop. I don't know how it's going to work. I told the Lord, I said, I'm not qualified. He says, I'll qualify you, son. You just come on. Yes, Papa.
He's got a good history of that.
He does, man. He could turn, they said that, anybody could hit the bullseye with a straight arrow, but he could take a crooked stick like me and hit the bullseye.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was, man. Hey, you got any funny stories that happened in your life?
I don't know, nothing too crazy. My wife likes to tell a story about how I had to have back surgery about 10 years ago, and we had to get there a little bit early, and they were doing my blood work and doing all the things to get ready, and I know the lady she was trying to take my blood, and it was taking forever, and she was wiggling the needle around, and I don't know, I started to get a little woozy, and apparently I passed out. I don't know. I didn't feel like I passed out, but I guess I did. And my wife said the little candy striper volunteer came out to the lobby, and she's like, "Oh, could you come back here? We're having a little trouble with your husband." And I don't know. She loves to
Uh-huh.
tell everybody that that I passed out from a needle giving
From,
bloods.
from a little baby needle,
Yeah,
huh?
from a little baby needle. She didn't. She don't like to tell everybody we're wiggling them around in my arm for 10 minutes.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
that's gotta be a rough one. My wife, she had to go get that dye put in there one time,
yeah,
and I guess they missed a vein or whatever, and it turned the whole arm purple. And
yeah, that's
look,
right. I'm not big
I
on that stuff, medical field or
mm-mm,
needles and blood, and I'm not good at all with that. Dawson always likes to laugh and pick on me about that, but I don't want to see cuts. I don't want to see broken
no
bones,
sir.
nothing like that. So I
Yeah,
guess that got me. She likes to tell that story. So
yeah. I always thought want to be a doctor, but then I realized I don't know if I could cut into somebody and see blood gushing. You know what I mean?
I know I could not. I know I
Yeah.
couldn't for sure.
Oh, so what? Public service director for Tangipahoa Parish. What all does that entail?
So the public works department it entails pretty much all the road maintenance that goes on within the parish. You've got the road and bridge department, and then you've got the landfill. So I think you probably know Miss Connie Henry.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
Yep.
Miss Connie.
She's a wonderful lady.
She's our administrative director out at the landfill, and we've got an operations director, and they handle the everyday operation that goes on out there. And then I've got folks, a lot of good folks here in the road and bridge department. We're out there every day. It's nothing exciting. We're cutting grass on roads. We're digging ditches, changing culverts out, overlaying roads, things like that. So,
Mhm. Y'all putting a little blacktop on the roads, filling the holes in.
yeah, we patch potholes, we overlay roads, just kind of what the budget will allow.
What's the best way to get that black stuff off of the vehicles with?
It's funny. I had a lady the other day, a sales lady called me, and she was trying to sell me some product just for what you're talking about. So I guess
Uh
I need
huh.
to go back and find out.
Yeah, that's right. Because I mean,
They
I
say
like white
WD-40. I've
vehicles.
always heard WD-40 is the best thing.
That might be
So,
too. It's a degreaser. But
yep.
speaking of Miss Connie, we go to church together at House on the Rock over there. She was always in charge of the youth programs, and she had all my kids going up through youth. And she always called my son, little Chad, her little star, because
Yeah.
we would do the Christmas production, and
Hmm.
Chad be up there dressed up as a little star. He's 7 years old, and he's pretty hyper, boy. And he had them little bells, and he just shaking them the whole time, boy. He just shaking them, and it was just a precious thing. And whatever he graduated, she's like, I'm losing my little star.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And I've known Miss Connie ever since I was a kid. We went to church together. And matter of fact, when her son Blake, he used to always come when he was little. He used to come sit next to me. I was probably in high school at the time, and Blake was 2 or 3 years old, whatever it was, and he'd come plop right now next to me, and everybody just thought that was the funniest thing.
Oh yeah, he's cool, man. He come back to church, and
Yep.
he's got a kid now, and
Oh yeah, it's
just to
hard.
see him, and I just like, man, it's such a blessing to see the evolution of everybody and grow.
Yep, no doubt.
Yep. Oh, what was it like growing up on a dairy farm? What's life like?
Ah, not like you can imagine. I
Mm-hmm.
had four brothers, and mom and dad. We all, we milked, we field work. It was a lot of work. When I went to work for the parish and I started getting a paycheck, I was like, this is a raise. And I was making like minimum wage at the time. All my friends were like, you're making minimum wage. I was like, yeah, but I didn't really get a paycheck. We just ate,
I
at home.
moved up,
So
huh?
yeah. So
Yeah.
I moved up in the world,
Yeah. Well, I
but it was
mean,
good. It was good. It taught me a lot about hard work and
right.
commitment, and,
What
all
what
the
was getting up time?
things. 3 in the morning, but I didn't have to do that
Ooh.
every day. I didn't have to do
Yeah.
that every day, weekends and things like that. So
Y'all had to milk or what?
yeah, we milk cows. We probably milked 100 to 150 cows, depending on the time of the year. Hmm.
Wow. Yeah, that's gotta teach you a good work ethic at a young age.
Oh yeah, it was rough. It was rough. I
Yeah.
can't say that I was sad to see it go, but I'm glad we went through it at the same time.
18 years of dairy farming, huh? That's
Yeah,
a good run.
No doubt.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. I wish I'd have
Especially
got
as
my
a
kids.
kid, when all your friends were running around in the evening playing and going here and going to the park, and when out you had to go and go milk, So
Yeah, my we grew up in River Parishes down there in Laplace, and my buddy Samson, he's from Garyville, and his daddy, Samson Monica, his daddy farmed, and boy, he'd come to school, boy, and he'd talk about, bro, you should have seen the size of the okra I picked this morning. He'd always have some kind of story, being up at the butt crack
oh yeah,
and just finding something.
oh
What's the
yeah.
craziest thing you remember from a youth growing up in a dairy farm?
Gosh, I don't know. You'd get to a crazy cow every now and then. Like, when a cow has a calf and you got to get her and bring her into the barn. Sometimes those cows get rough on you. So you just got to watch them. And I can just remember a few of those cows that kept us on our toes. So that was pretty
I
tricky.
bet. Yeah, I hear that, man. Um, did y'all have any bulls or horses out there?
And we had a bull. We always had a bull or two. We kept with the and a couple of horses in the field, but I never. They were just there. We rode horses every now and then, but I think we talked a little bit about my kids and what they do. Is nothing to that extent.
Yeah, you wasn't
Never would
riding
have guessed.
bulls.
No, 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 no.
Okay.
I played football. I was not a
Yeah,
cowboy. I was not
I
in
just
by any
milk
means.
cows.
I just milked cows because my daddy made me do it.
Sure,
But a
that's right.
cowboy, I was not.
Yeah. What is having four brothers? What does family mean to you?
I mean, family's a big part of my life. I mean,
Hmm.
I've got four brothers. My mom and dad, lucky enough they've always, been together. So come from a good home, uh, raised in the church. I have a lot to be thankful for.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Are the brothers still around or what?
Yeah, well, I got one brother's in Texas. One brother still lives at home. I got a couple brothers over in St. Tammany Parish, and then I live on the home place too. So we're all still fairly close.
Good, good,
Other
good.
than my one brother in Texas, he comes home a couple times a year for holidays and things like that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that, man.
Yep,
Texas is a cool place out
that's
there.
right.
Hey, and whenever I asked Dawson about it, he told me to get you on here because he said you work over there at the Cowboy Church, and I was like, the Cowboy Church, and I was just like, and you was telling me a little bit about it. Tell us a little bit about Cowboy Church. What do y'all call
Well,
it? Cross Brand?
yeah, it's Cross Brand Cowboy Church.
Okay,
Honestly, I didn't know anything about it. My kids had got into horses and rodeoing a little bit, and my wife teaches school out at Laranja, and there was a lady out there who was a member of Cross Brand, and she actually worked with the girls who did the drill teams. Like before the rodeos, the girls that would go out in the pen with the flags and things like that before a
sure.
rodeo. So she was in charge of that at the church, and she was always asking my wife, "Hey, y'all come out here, bring your girls out here to do the drill team stuff." So eventually, we went and tried it one day, and the drill team practice was always after church. So church is at 4 o'clock, and the drill team practice was at 5 or 5:30, whatever. And so we just, we'd show up while they were still in church and kind of get our horses ready for drill team practice. Well, after we did that for a while, we was like, hey, maybe we should go to, try church out here and, just go check it out. And we've been going ever since. We just loved it. So,
That's awesome, man.
yep.
So how does services what do services usually look like at the Cross Brand Church?
Well, it's
You was telling me something before. You was telling
yeah.
me
So
service, and you
so
telling
before
me
church, that's kind of like a little ministry that we have out there. We do bull riding like before the church, like a bull practice. So if you're a bull rider and you want to practice riding bulls, we're going to do that at 2 o'clock before church. And, with the hopes that a lot of these folks, a lot of these kids who may not be going to church or be exposed to it anywhere else, they'll have the opportunity to come there, get on the bulls, and then come on into church right after practice. So a lot of folks, a lot of kids do that. It's a good deal.
that's fair. Yeah, that's 100%. We used to back when I was young and a little crazier. We used to go and do basketball ministry on Thursday nights, and all us little hoodlums, we'd get together because they'd open a gym up for us, and we'd go in there, and we had to do a Bible study first, so we had to
Yep.
kind of calm down, and everybody, calm down. And my buddy's daddy, Mr. Brother Dwayne, he would get everybody together, and he was an old vet, boy, and we'd
Yeah.
kind of start cutting up a little bit and everything, boy, and he'd get on us real quick, and we'd all kind of settle down, and we'd hear the word. Him and Brother Mike, they'd always give us all the word, and after that we'd get together, and we played basketball, and it was a good time.
Well, our pastor Randy Smith, he's an old bull rider. He's an old cowboy, and I don't know. He got saved, and they started these different Bible studies and things in the house and outside the house. And then the next thing you know, they're meeting in the arena, and then now it's a full blown cowboy church with the rodeo ministry. Kids, the kids who a lot of kids are not exposed to what we're exposed to in a Christian home. They get the opportunity to be exposed where they may not ever be, may not ever run into that anywhere else. So it's a good deal. A lot of kids
Yeah,
have come through and been saved through it, and so it's a great deal.
yeah, that's awesome. And you got to approach everybody where they are, because you can't really have expectations about people. Oh, they need to be this before they can be saved, or people. And I know I've done it, because at some of the churches I've gone to, I've walked in, and people have looked at me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, he's got short pants. He's got jeans on. Oh my gosh, he's got a stain on his shirt. He shouldn't be in here."
Right.
And
Well,
how much does that
that's definitely not the way it is at Cross Brand. Me and my wife laugh about it. The first time we came in there, kids are running around barefooted. You got dirty people that just got off bulls, and you got clean pressed people over here. I mean, it's from one extreme to the other, and it was really just kind of like a breath of fresh air for us, and
Yeah.
been there ever since.
Yeah, I don't think there's a recipe for loving the Lord, loving Jesus.
Nope, you're right about that.
Yeah, man. And that's awesome that y'all are doing that stuff. Where's this church located at? How can people come out to the rodeo church and come check you guys out?
It's located on Averett Road, right off of Highway 40 in Laranja. So kind of out on the east side, going out towards Highway 445, Averett Road. We have
Is that Abear?
Averett, Aveer,
Abear?
Averett,
Averett.
Averett, yeah.
Road
Averett Road.
Laranja, huh?
Yep, Averett Road, Laranja.
That'd be cool, man. I'm gonna have to come check you guys out one day out there.
We actually
I'm really
have
curious.
we have rodeos out there at least once a month. Sometimes we have them in A Meet at the big arena. This weekend we're actually having one of our rodeos at the A Meet arena. So if y'all got time, y'all to stop by and come check it out.
Yeah, what day is it? Is that on Sundays?
It's Saturday night, yeah.
Saturday night, 2:00.
No, this is our rodeo started. The little kids event start at 5. The sheep riding and the goat tail pulling, stuff for the little kids, and then the main rodeo start around 6:00. And it's all
cool,
kids.
Man.
I mean, it's all kids, but these are high school, down to junior age kids. So you got
Very
little
cool,
bitty
man.
ones pulling the goat tails, and all the way up to I think 19 years old. So
Very
girls.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about your girls.
All 3 of my girls have rodeoed. They run barrels and they goat tie, and I got one who's breakaway rope, and they've run poles in the past. So we've just kind of done a little bit of it all, and it's all really still new to me. Like I said, I didn't grow up doing any of this, so I'm having to learn it as I go.
How old are the girls?
My oldest is 19, my next one is 17, and my youngest one's 15. I'll be 15 here in a few weeks.
And they all
No,
rope and
16.
ride.
I'm sorry, I'm lying to you. 20.
Don't do that.
20, almost 18, and almost 16. So I was off a year.
I do the same thing, man. Look, my wife keeps track of all those dates and ages, bro. Don't worry about it.
But officially right now, I have a 19-year-old and a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old.
Good deal.
So,
good deal, man. And they've been how long have they been doing this stuff?
Well, we got into horses. It's kind of crazy. Another silly story. They wanted an inside dog for Christmas one year. This was 10 or 11 Christmases ago, so that's about how long we've been into it. But they wanted an inside dog, and my wife came to me and said they want an inside dog. I said, inside dog, that's a lot of work. I don't have time for that. You know, we got enough going on. At the time, they were doing gym and dance and cheerleading and all this stuff, so we were kind of passing ourselves coming and going. And so my wife said, well, they're going to be disappointed. She said, but I've heard them, you know, talk about maybe wanting a pony. I said, pony, I can do that. I said, pony's easy. We got property.
Right.
I can get a pony, stick it in the field,
Right.
and that'll be the end of it. You know, we won't, it'll be easy. No work whatsoever. They feed themselves. There's plenty of grass. Well, little did I know that it would lead to horse lessons and then barrel racing clinics and play days and junior rodeos and rodeo queens and horses and trailers and everything in between. So
wasn't
I
as
missed,
quite as simple as you planned it
no,
out, huh?
I missed the target on the easy one there, I think.
You
But
missed the infomercial on that one, huh?
I did. That's another pretty funny story that we like to laugh about too, that the inside puppy would be more work than what we're doing now.
Yeah, that's right.
Most nights I don't get home before 10 o'clock because by the time I, work, then I got a little side gig where I build houses on the side, check on the houses. Then we go usually practice rodeo or help get stock ready for the rodeo that we're going to have this weekend. We got to go track the calves down, rope the calves, throw the calves, tie the calves. We go out there with a group of guys who do that. And then the biggest thing we do, my two youngest girls, they goat tie. So we goat tie a couple nights a week. Then they try and ride their barrel horses in between. And then they're going to rope, Allie's going to rope a time or two during the week or more, depending on the week. So, most nights I don't get home before 10 o'clock, get towards the bed, so I think.
So the inside dog from a old lifestyle, huh?
It was too much for me to handle. Yeah.
That's right. Hey, but look at the memories you have and look what God had in store for you,
Yep.
That's cool.
God laughs at your plans sometimes.
He does. Yeah. I heard that said before. You want to make God laugh? Tell him what you're going to do.
Yeah, make plans. Tell him about you.
Right. Tell me what is goat tying? You got me thrown off. I just consider me a city slicker, a lowlander or something like that. But that's what my buddy around the corner tells me. He said I'm a lowlander.
Well, I can hear it in your voice a little bit, but
that's right.
So goat tying, it's a rodeo event. It's really it's only, they don't do it in professional rodeo. Some rodeo events you only do through high school. Some you can do through college. And then when you go into professional, those events don't. So it's more of a youth rodeo event, and it's the boys start doing it to kind of get them in the mood or in the mode of tying calves. When they tie down rope calves. And girls continue with the goats. So what happens is you come in the arena on your horse, and there's a goat on the other end of the pen. That's, it's roped to a stake, it's tied to a stake, and you come in running on your horse, and you got to get off your horse while it's running, and you go down and you flank the goat and you tie the goat, and it's time. Whoever does it the fastest wins.
Sure.
So, these girls will come in sometimes full, as the girls get older, they come in running full speed on these horses and get off of them while they're still running full speed and stay on their feet, run, get the goat. The goat's trying to dodge you. You gotta block the goat, flank the goat, tie the goat. So that's goat time. I didn't know about it either 10 years ago.
Right. And I mean, that's totally throw it off. I got to go watch this, man. That sounds like a good time.
Look, and it's serious too. I mean, these girls are athletic. You never would guess it. If you watch, especially some of these college levels girls that are doing it, I mean, they're coming in 6 seconds from the time they come in, start the timer to the time the goat's tied, and they throw their hands up. It's over with. So
6 seconds.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Some of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
crazy.
Awesome. Yeah. I watched a little shorter video the other day, and they had a little girl. She must have been 7 years old, and she was on a full, looked like a thoroughbred, and like she was running, and like there was a little stumble at first. The guy tried to grab her, and she took off sprinting around there, and she was fully jumping off the top of this horse, and she was riding that thing like a grown woman. And I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Like anything else. I mean, if you get a kid involved in that stuff early, it just becomes natural to them. The earlier you get them introduced to it, if they can handle it and they enjoy it, it just becomes like second nature to them, you know. So that's kind of what's happened. I mean, my middle one started when she was 7. My youngest one started when she was like 5 or 6, and then my oldest one, she came in a couple years later. And you know, they kind of came in at different times, so they progressed at different rates. You know what I'm saying? But
Sure.
just like anything else, if you put a baseball bat in a little kid's hand, he's swinging a bat, and he's, you know, it just becomes second nature to him.
Natural. Yeah. And I mean, one thing I always liked about the rodeos, and don't get me wrong, that's not my lifestyle. And, I don't even know that I've ever been to a rodeo, but like whenever they got the championships come around, I watch a little bit of. And one thing I always thought was real cool is the rodeo people, country people, they're always really patriotic, and they're into prayer, and that's something I
Well,
feel like we're losing.
that's what I was going to say. That's, to me, the best thing about rodeo. You're always going to have a prayer in the national anthem, start of every rodeo. So it's a good
Yeah,
deal.
and that it's so patriotic, it really is,
Yep.
and I love to see that now, and that's really cool what y'all are doing. That's why I find this stuff so interesting.
Well, and to me too, because like when you have plans, like if you'd have told me 10 years ago, you can ask Dawson, you can ask Jeff, any of them that knew me growing, I didn't rodeo. I didn't know anything about horses. It was not in my plans at all.
It wasn't in your 10-year plan.
It wasn't in my 10-year plan. So God changed that for me.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, I was going to ask you how God was on the move in your journey, but I guess that is what it is, huh?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like I don't know. I never expected it. I mean, we always went to church. I probably wasn't always a Christian. I should have been, but I was raised in it. So, I knew the way. I knew what I was supposed to be doing. But when we walked into Cowboy Church, we just both felt so at home. It was like, this is where we need to be.
Yeah.
So just worked out.
Yeah, it's always cool whenever you find a people in a situation or whatever where you just feel like that's family. That's where you're supposed to be.
And it's I didn't come from that at all. It was kind of, it took us a few times talking about it. Hey, you want to go in there? Well, I don't know. We don't know anything about this. We just felt so comfortable when we got there, so.
Yeah. You're like, these my people, but we don't know these people. These my people.
That's it. That's what happened.
Yeah. That's cool, man. Tell me about the rodeo club.
So, all right. So
how did that start?
Let me kind of lead up to that a little bit. So, all right. So
go ahead.
We got our church rodeo that we do. Okay. So your church rodeo it's kind of like the starting point for these kids who are going to rodeo. They want to rodeo. So you go to the church rodeos and you learn. There's little kid events where you go pull the goat tail and you ride the sheep and you do little things like that. And it gets them interested, and they grow. We got a junior division where these kids are, I don't know, 6 years old, or I don't know what the minimum age is, but it goes up to 13, and then from 13 up to 19. Okay. So you kind of start off with that, and these kids they're just starting. So you may have somebody out there leading them around the barrels, a little girl or something, or just kind of a beginner level. Then if you're going to progress from that, typically most kids will do high school rodeo, they call it, right? So it's not, but it's junior high and high school. So you go to these junior high. We started doing these junior high and high school rodeos. So when you get to the end of that season, they take the top 4 kids in each event, and they make the nationals. So,
and what kind of area is that involved in? From each event, is this like we're talking about Florida Parishes Arena down here, or we're talking about at the church, or what kind of area are we talking about?
So each state has high school rodeo, pretty much.
Okay.
Pretty much every state, for the most part, United States has high school rodeo, and there may be a few that don't. But you have Louisiana high school rodeo, you got Mississippi high school rodeo,
sure,
Arkansas, Texas, Oklahoma, whatever. So
yes, sir.
Everybody in this part of the country, it's closer for us to rodeo in Mississippi, because all the Louisiana rodeos are like North Louisiana or West Louisiana, 3 and 4 hours away, where Mississippi rodeos are right here. Poplarville, Brookhaven, Purvis, Kiln, all within an hour or two, so it's a lot closer. So we rodeo with Mississippi and the high school rodeo. So each state's got their own deal. So the top 4 kids in each event in the state the national, they go to the nationals to compete in the national high school rodeos.
Okay.
And a lot of times the nationals are held out west. It's been in Wyoming for the last couple. It's in Wyoming a lot. You might be in Nebraska, or you might be. It's an expensive deal to do. So a lot of
I
these
bet.
a lot of these high school rodeos are put on by rodeo clubs, and these rodeo clubs, the deal with it is you put on these rodeos. This group of people gets together. We're a rodeo club. You pay your dues. You sell your sponsorship ads to produce money for the rodeo club. The rodeo club puts on a rodeo, and now the funds that you profit from the rodeo, people in the stands, concession stands,
Sure.
all that, you take that money and we split it up. This year was our first year to do it. I mean, everybody else, a lot of people have done it for a long time, but it was our first year to do it. And we were able to send like 9 kids to the nationals, and each give them a good amount of traveling money to take with them and help diesel and lodge and whole deal. I mean, it's
Very
expensive. We were
cool.
able to give 9 kids like I think $2,780 a piece. So we were proud of that. It was our first year. So we felt like it was a pretty successful first year. But that's what the rodeo club deal's for. It's these kids, a group of kids from the same area that have the same interest, and we're gonna get together. We're gonna raise money to help send y'all to the nationals, because otherwise some of these kids may or may not be able to go without that money to go. So
Sure. They might
good
not be
deal.
from a well-to-do family.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It takes a good bit of money to get out there. I mean, diesel alone's probably $2,000 pulling a horse trailer out there
Wow.
back. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big expense on a family to
Sure.
get out there. So that's why a lot of these rodeo clubs are around, and some of them that have been around longer, they'll give scholarships and they'll do different things, and we'd like to get to that one day too. But
Yeah.
we were just proud to be able to send nine kids to the nationals. I think it was maybe 4 junior high kids and 5 high school kids, or vice versa. So it's junior high and high school.
Very cool. Who came up with this vision for that club?
Well, I mean,
Like, how did it evolve?
so really, to be honest with you, me and a few of my buddies that do this, we kind of figured out that these other rodeo clubs, like we go to a high school rodeo in Purvis, and it said, hey, sponsored by the Purvis Rodeo Club. But we didn't really know what
Mm,
that meant, so we started asking around, and it's like, hey, these rodeo clubs, that's what it is. This group of families gets together, and they put the rodeo on. They hire all these people, get all the stock there, hire a stock contractor, and got to rent a facility, and just kind of organize it all. And we found out that that's what these folks were doing. They were putting on these rodeos to help, to help give kids a chance to go that may not be able to go otherwise. So we said, hey, it's a pretty cool deal. We need to do that for us. We got kids here who are going to be going to the nationals, who we'd like to be able to help those kids. So we just kind of started talking about it, putting it together, having meetings, and it just kind of all fell together. So.
yeah. And the rodeo club that's in this area, or that's based out of Poplarville, or what?
No, our rodeo club is the Florida Parishes Rodeo Club. So
Okay, good.
it's kind
Okay,
of any, all the kids kind of from the Florida Parishes area here, which is,
sure.
you know, um, Livingston and St. Helena and Tangipahoa and Washington, and there's several kids that rodeo here from that area. So we said, let's call it the Florida Parishes Rodeo Club. It'll kind of encompass where we're all from. And then we
Yeah.
got the Florida Parishes Arena here. That's where we put our event on, at the Florida Parishes Arena. So, everybody's not necessarily from Tangipahoa or St. Helena or Livingston. It's kind of, so Florida Parishes Rodeo Club is what we all decided on.
Yeah, because everybody's looking for some way to support something. They just don't know how, man. And it's really cool that y'all kind of putting that together and giving people an opportunity to come in and support something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's for the kids, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
most people want to help.
absolutely. I mean, I heard Chris Rock say it one time. He says, whenever you see somebody sitting in the car, nobody's going to get out to help them push. But if you see somebody on the side of the road pushing the car, you're going to get people to come out and help them push. And y'all
Yeah,
out there helping people,
yeah,
push, and that's cool.
yeah. And we had a lot of people help us push, you know what I'm saying? So
Sure.
um, it was a big effort, and like I said, we were proud of our first year's success. So
Yeah, very cool, man. So, what's it been like working for the government so many years?
uh it's been good. I can't complain about it. It really has. A lot of people gripe about the government, but it's usually people from the outside. When you get
Mm-hmm.
in, you can see that there's a lot of people here that really care and they want to help people, and they work hard, towards helping people. And there's a lot of things with the government, the government wheel turns slow, right? And there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
things that we have to do and make sure of, kind of, it's discouraging sometimes or whatever. But
Sure.
when you get in, you find out there's a lot of good people here, just like there are in the private world, and they want to do their job and they want to help people. And um, I guess that's probably one of the most rewarding things about it.
What about challenging obstacles you had to overcome over there?
Same
Which,
thing, people,
yeah.
people, and and the wheels sometimes turning slow. There's a lot of things a lot of check boxes we got to make happen before you can see something happen. Um, we and it's hard. It's hard sometimes to deal with the public, but
Mm-hmm.
not always. You get one, just like in anything else. You get
Mm-hmm.
one here, there, one there, and you get 10 good ones that appreciate what you're doing for them. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the most rewarding and some of the most challenging things is dealing with the public. It's the same thing. So,
Yeah. They got a guy named uh Maxwell, and he said that in life, some people are dogs and some people are cats. A dog is going to be happy no matter what happens. Ooh, my favorite thing, my favorite thing. And you got some people that are like cats and they're like, day 365 of my captivity. I wait for one day I will escape from these humans, and it's kind of like in life, there's going to be some people who's always going to be happy, and there's some people that's always going to complain.
yeah, and that's the way it is. I mean, we have people. We have several names that float around the office up here. They're going to call. They're going to call once a month, and something's not going to be right, and
Yeah,
we deal with it. We learn how to deal with it, and we do what we can for them, and try to make them happy. It doesn't always work out, but we do
yeah.
our best at it. So
Yeah, I guess everybody's got somebody. Whenever the phone rings, you kind of roll your eyes a little bit. See
yeah,
what they got to say today.
what's the latest
that's
adventure?
that's right. What's what's one of the most rewarding things that's happened over the past couple of years with Tangipahoa Parish? What's
Um,
one of the big wins, I guess?
I don't know. I mean, we got so much going on around here. I mean, it's hard to put my finger on one thing. We're doing we're get there's so much money coming in for projects right now, improvements on infrastructure around here that take forever. You know what I'm saying? People
Mm,
start calling about this problem, and it's a problem that's financially the parish couldn't pay for. So
mm,
then you go on a search for grant money. So we got grant
sure.
people who do that. They go find this grant money. Then everything's got to be approved. It's got this process. It's got to be tested and tried, and it takes a long time. But without this grant money, this project wouldn't happen. So
Right.
we got a lot of, I mean, millions and millions and millions of dollars of projects going on right now that are happening here that wouldn't be happening without those funds. So I think that's a pretty good thing.
Yeah. And those are state grants or federal grants or what?
It's federal and state. It usually a lot of times it's federal money that trickles down through the state. It just depends on where exactly what kind of money it is. Sometimes this money's for a certain. Most of the time, it is for a certain situation. It could be a
Yeah.
hazard mitigation money to improve some kind of hazard, or you might have a community development block grant that's towards fixing this type of problem. So
Yeah.
it's all kind of different money.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming that because the governor came from right here in Tangipahoa Parish. He was able to find some money for Tangipahoa Parish when he got there.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, man. Um, tell me about your sideline gig, man. What do you do?
Uh,
What's one of your little
well,
passions you do on the side?
so I guess we kind of got to go back and talk a little bit about my. So I came in 17 years old with the parish. I started working with the parish, and um, worked part-time through college, and I went to Jeff. I said, "Hey Jeff, I'm getting ready to graduate college. You got a big boy job for me, or I need to go find a job somewhere." So he's like, "Oh no, I got something I want to do, and so we'll let you do that." And it was just at that time we were trying to put a program together to collect all the public works work that we do. It needed to be collected. At that time we weren't really collecting it to the extent that we are now. So like, I need you to help me put this program together, and we need to keep track of how much money we spend on these roads, and the labor and equipment and all this stuff. So we did that. I did that for a couple years, right out of college, and then from there I got the opportunity to move into our permit office. I learned to be a building inspector down there, and so I spent a lot of time with the parish out inspecting, new construction houses typically.
Was that all OJT, like on job training, or did they have a training program that the parish sends you through, or what?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's certifications and stuff you got to get, but I trained with inspectors who had been here for a long time before, and just kind of OJT for the most part. And so I did that up until 2016. I was at the permit office. I ran the permit office from, I think, maybe 06 to 16. And then from that point, when our new parish president got elected, people were, there were jobs changing, people were retiring, and so I got the opportunity to move into public works department, and so I did that, and but I still kind of had that, I don't know, something special for construction, just because I'd been in it so for so long, and the inspection side of it. I met a lot of people who did really good work, and developed relationships and stuff with them, and so I don't know. A few years later, another buddy of ours, Jared Stevens, he was getting ready to build a house, and he's in the construction.
Jared's a good guy.
Yeah, as far as on the dirt work side and concrete side and things like that. So he always, we talk to each other about construction and stuff, and so he's like, "Andy, I want you to help me build my house." And I was like, "Okay, I'll help you. We'll do it. We'll see what happens."
Yeah.
The next thing I know, Jared had gone out and got us a residential construction license, and he said, "We're gonna." We had said, we may do this. We're gonna go into building houses. So that's what we did. We built his house, and then we started a little construction company, and we built a few spec houses around Amite. So, but now I'm on my own now doing it. Jared, he's got 10 other irons in the fire. He got too busy to continue with it. So it's just me now. And so I do that on the side. Like I said, I work here, and then in the afternoons, I'm usually checking on job sites and stuff like that, and then chasing kids from whatever time till 10 o'clock at night in the rodeo pen. So we stay pretty busy.
Sometimes you're the busiest man in the parish, huh?
Nah, I don't know about that, but
feels
busier,
like that sometimes. I'm
busier
sure.
than I'd like to be, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So I think it's cool whenever you're building or repairing something. It's cool to be able to walk by or drive by something and be like, "Hey, we worked on that right there. We did this, this, and this."
Yeah, my wife will tell you, and my kids, we'd be driving out through the country, and I used to say, "I inspected that house," or "I inspected that house," and now I can say, "Well, look, I built that house," or "I built that house," or whatever. So that's cool. It's rewarding.
Yeah, because in the field I'm in, for years I did a lot of inspection work in the plants, and it's really hard to go by something and kind of show what you did. But it's kind of like whenever you repaired something or you built something, you go look at it and see like, yeah, we put that there, and it's just it's really cool. It's tangible. You know what I mean?
Do it. That's right.
Yeah, with the Lord's help, that's what we did right there.
Oh, the Lord guiding for sure.
I'm glad look, I used to say he's my co-pilot. No, he's the pilot. I'll just go ahead and let him drive the whole vehicle. You know what I mean?
It's easier that way.
It really is, because I'll tell you what, I done sent myself on some dangerous missions, and I'm just glad I made it out alive. I was like, you must got me here for a reason, Lord.
Me and you both.
Yeah, right on. From life, all the things that you've done with the parish, what was your favorite position so far?
I mean, so far, public works. I mean, it's a big job. It's a rewarding job. You can help a lot of people. It's good. I like it.
That's good.
I mean, I still like my construction stuff too that I did. I guess that's kind of
Sure.
why I've sidelined back into construction. So
Very
uh,
cool.
it's all good. But I really can't. Even when I was in high school and college, and I worked at the landfill and I worked for the maintenance department and stuff, I liked it all. I liked it
Yeah.
all.
Heck yeah. It's all reward, and everything's got its different little gems that you find along the road.
Yep, no doubt.
And you meet good people everywhere
Yep,
you go.
yep. And they make it easy
Um,
for you.
yeah. What's the best advice somebody's ever gave you, and who gave it to you?
Oh goodness, I'm not sure. Mr. Chippy would always tell me to be patient. You know,
Mm.
because there was a time in my career when I was a little antsy, and he said, "Just be patient, just be patient," and he was right. So
Yeah. That's something that you can't gain as a young man, because I'm still not there. I'm 45 and I'm not the most patient man in the world, but as you get kids and as life comes along, you get a little bit more as you go along. And Lord willing, I'm hoping that once I get there, I'll be patient a little bit later, because my son, he's 18 right now and he wants everything now. And it's just like, that's not the
yeah,
way this works, bro.
I see it too. I see it around here. I mean, I was always the young guy, but I don't guess that's the case anymore around here. There are some a good bit of folks younger than me now, and
Yeah.
I kind of see myself sometimes, and I'm like, you just got to be patient. You
Yeah.
just got to be patient. That's all.
Yeah. And
It
yeah.
takes
And
time.
young is perspective.
It is. It is. It is. But
Yeah.
be patient. Yep.
My buddy, he told me that all the stuff he saw in the Bible, he said that he feels that God rewards patience and obedience the most out of anything. Like characters that have succeeded in the Bible, it's the ones that were patient and they were obedient to his word.
Yep. No doubt about it. There's a
Very
lot of
cool.
stories likewise.
Yep. What's one of your big learning experiences that you found so far?
Mm, in the job or just in general or what?
Pick one.
I mean, to me, the biggest one's just putting God first.
Yeah.
That takes care of it
Amen.
all.
Yeah, really does. What would you say to 18 to 25-year-olds out there that are just starting out, getting moving? What would be your advice?
I mean, it pretty much sums it up in those two things. Be patient, put God first.
Yeah.
That's it'll all work out. And it's hard to do. And it was hard for me at the time. I always wanted a side gig. I wanted something, but I didn't know what would fit. And so
Hmm.
it took me working here for so I've been here probably 22 or 3 years already, and I've been doing this for probably 18 or 19 years before I could get into my comfortable side gig that would work. You know what I'm saying? With that fit me, that I could do and still manage. So
Yeah. So you kind of saying that the Lord rewarded you for your patience, huh?
uh yeah, I guess he did. I mean,
I mean,
we can
that's kind of how the story sounds.
yeah. I mean, yeah, no doubt about it.
Very cool. Oh, who do you look for as far as guidance whenever you don't know which direction you're going? Do you have a go-to that you follow or go to?
I mean, I try and pray about it. That's my
Hmm.
biggest thing.
Yeah, very good, very good. So what's your 3 to 5 year plan?
Well, 3 to 5 year plan. I mean, I plan to be here. I plan to get my kids out of high school. See, I got one in college already. The other two going into college. See where that brings me. I, I plan to work here for probably say maybe 8 more years, and then maybe probably just build full time after that. That's my plan, but I've made plans before, so we'll see what God thinks
Yeah,
about it.
I like it. I like it. Um, what college are you sending the kids to? Do you have it picked out, or it's up to them, or what?
Well, I mean, my oldest attends Southeastern right here in Hammond.
Hmm.
My other two, I don't know, they rodeo a little bit more, so I don't know if one of them may decide to go to college and and pursue that. Um,
Do-
maybe one, maybe two. I don't know. Maybe none. I don't know. Who knows? We'll see where
right.
that leads us.
Sure. Did they have a big? And I know you graduated from Southeastern, and I did too. You went to Southeastern, I did too, and it's a pretty good school.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it's
they
right
got
here at home.
some, yeah, and they got some good programs, and it's close.
No doubt. That's a good thing for me. So it's
Do they
right here.
have any? Do they have any big rodeo colleges?
I mean, there are rodeo colleges. There's smaller ones. There's bigger ones. A lot of kids in this area go. There's a uh, Pearl River Community College right here in Poplarville
Mm-hmm.
that a lot of kids go to. That's close. McNeese in Louisiana is
McNeese Cowboys. That's right. Okay.
they're a big rodeo college. And of course, when you get out of state, Texas and all that stuff, sky's the limit over there. So
Very cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
they're out there for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm just not initiated. I don't know about that. What
I'm
kind of
still learning.
college of it. I know that's how we all are. Very cool. Oh, how many houses do you build a year, like right now?
I typically only build one or two a year.
Mm-hmm.
I got three going on right now, which
Mm-hmm.
is more than it needs to be. Uh, so I don't know. If I could do maybe three a year at a different, like three the first quarter, and I mean one the first quarter, and maybe one the
Sure.
next quarter, and one. If I could do three that way, I think that would be ideal. But
So
three,
three at one time is not the ideal spot,
not
huh?
when you work full time and have kids that you chase rodeo full time to. Just about it's too much. But
Yeah. We talking about Jared having irons in the fire. You got a few irons in the fire too, man.
yeah, but a lot of this is Jared's fault. So
Jared, it's your fault. That's awesome. What's the biggest sense of accomplishment so far?
um, I don't know. Probably just my family, really.
Mm-hmm.
Um, three good kids, a good wife, good parents. It's
Wonderful. What more can a man ask for, huh?
really, you feel like you feel greedy sometimes.
Yeah. How, explain that to me.
I don't know. Just a lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
So
And it's rough now because, and this is one of my big things, as I see so many single parent households, and and I've said this on a podcast before, is like it seems like the government incentivizes a lot of people to be single. And I kind of grew up south of the lake, and people, it seems to me, a lot of people take advantage of government programs, and they kind of line up for the money, and
yeah,
with the food stamps and with
right.
the welfare and social security and all that stuff. And the government kind of allows people to, mothers and all the kids, to get all these government benefits, and not having a father in the home. I see it creates a big problem. And
Probably
it,
the biggest problem in our nation, really,
yeah, yeah, I agree.
the family structure. Not
Yeah,
being
and there's something to be said, because my wife, the Lord gave her the gift to love and listen a little bit better than it gives me. And the Lord gave me the ability to work and think. Not saying that women don't think, but
right.
they're really good caregivers, and men are really good, builders and
Providers.
workers.
Yeah,
And I think that's what it takes is, both everybody being on board to make everybody be really well rounded.
God didn't plan it that way for no reason.
That's right. He had to give Adam a helpmate in the garden. He's like, right, you ain't gonna make it alone, son.
Now he knows I ain't gonna make it alone for sure.
That's right. We need somebody to keep you in line before you get lost in the woods.
Now, I'll never deny that.
Yeah. Any hobbies?
Right now, it consists of chasing kids and working rodeo.
That's cool.
Rodeo kids. So
That's right. So I think we touched on it, but biggest thing holding people back right now?
the biggest thing is not having a relationship with God.
Yeah. Amen. Put your faith in God. I love it. I think that's about it, brother.
Yeah.
You got anything else?
No, man, it's been good. It's a good deal. Like I said, I never expected to do this. I told you that from the get go. So
I know. It's
easy to
really
talk
cool.
to. I appreciate that.
No, and I appreciate you saying that. And I think I told you this when I was in Dawson's office. I asked you, if you'd come on. You're like, no, not my story. And I said, man, people, I said, somebody said I had a gift, and it's not my gift. It's something the Lord put in me to make people feel really easy whenever I talk to them. And he's like, yeah, I have been talking to you. And I mean, I really appreciate you coming on here and talking to me and tell me about the Cowboy Church, brother.
Like I said, it's probably without those sweets though. Maybe this never would have happened. So bread pudding.
Yeah, man, everything turned out good, huh?
Yeah, don't lose that. That works for you.
Yeah, well, my wife, that's how I met her. She was over there baking at the fair or whatever, and I was like, man, you should have got some good desserts. What you doing the rest of your life? No,
Well,
she started making that bread pudding, and everybody loved it, and it just kind of developed them from there.
Yep, it was good, no doubt about it.
Thank
Got
you, brother.
in the door with me.
Absolutely, I love it, man. And man, this is a win, man. I had fun today, and I really appreciate it coming on here. Shout out to you, Andy. Tell everybody how to find the Cowboy Church. Come out there and find out. Get involved with what you got going on. They got any way to find you guys?
Come check it out. Like I said, we have church. It's a little weird. We have church at 4:00 on Sundays. I've never been to a church that, that was their only Sunday service was 4:00 on Sunday. But it works. It works for the cowboy culture, I guess you want to say it. Come see us. They have bull practice. If you're interested in getting in the rodeo, come watch them. Watch the kids ride bulls at 2:00, and then we have church at 4 every Sunday. We've got a prayer group on prayer kind of meeting on Monday, and just Bible study on Wednesday nights. Averett Road, Laranja. So come check us out.
Rose. Cool deal, man. And thanks again, Andy. And that's the role of this thing. That's what the Lord put on our heart, to have people like Andy come on here and tell their stories. Y'all go check them out down at the Rodeo Church. I'm definitely going to go check them out.
Good deal.
Andy's working in his higher calling. I hope you guys find your higher calling. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks, Andy.